One of the hardest things to do when you're helping admin a server is encouraging activity and group projects. Typically because it's hard to plan out a location of a build or something using just coordinates or screenshots, and this is where the mod or plugin Dynmap comes in really useful. One of the best features of Dynmap is their markers feature. So let's walk through how to add some. When it comes to markers, the biggest thing I encourage you to use is the set. This allows you to group a set of markers together, allowing for information to be conveyed to players. For example, we have a group projects. There's also the default markers and players one. Markers is your default location for any marker if you do not give it a set. And then players. And one of the advantages to this is you can turn them on and off, like you see here. Players is one of the default ones. You can't add anything to that because that is of the players, a group of markers for the players themselves. So we're going to go ahead and add a set for today's tutorial. All these commands are demarker, and then they'll follow a similar syntax with add, update, delete, and then whatever type it is, with the exception of the plain marker. So an example would be set. And then you'll create a label. And I suggest putting this in quotes, and that way if you are using multiple words, you can do them. So I'll go ahead and give us a label. And then I always suggest adding your ID now. And I always suggest also doing an ID yourself. I'm going to go ahead and give this one the ID of temp. If we go back to Dynmap, you'll notice there is now a group named like and subscribe. Okay, so we want to change the properties of our set just to have some fun. So you'll do demarker, update, set, and then you'll put in whatever properties you want to change. For example, I'm going to go ahead. Now, you do have to put in an ID or a label to do this. I always use the ID. And then we'll also change the label for the temporary one we've been using today. To do that, you will have to do new label as the property that you want to set. And I'm going to rename that to temp. We're also going to go ahead and set, for example, the hide to true because my friends don't necessarily need to see this group. And then we will also change the show labels property to true, just so that y'all can easily see all of those labels. By pressing enter, those should update. Go ahead and go back to your Dynmap. Go ahead and go to your browser, and if it didn't update, go ahead and refresh your page, and it will update there. So let's add a marker for this portal. You'll do demarker add, and then you'll do your label. I'll just call it portal 1. And I'll go ahead and add an ID as well, and we'll do P1. It's very important that you also include your set, which I'll add it to our temporary set, and then you'll add your icon, which you can see a full list of the default ones here. I'm going to use the portal. And when we switch back to Dynmap, make sure that your group is showing, and refresh your page, you'll see right there, we have our portal 1 marker there. I'm going to go ahead and add a circle to the village that I am in using the demarker add circle command. We'll create a label for it, a ID for it, and we'll add it to the temporary set. And as you can see, there is our circle, but you'll notice it's really small, and I don't necessarily want those colors. So let's go ahead and change that using the update command. In Dynmap, all of the commands all of the update commands follow the syntax update and then the type. For a point marker, it's just update, but for an area, circle, set, or a line, you'll add that term. So since we're updating a circle, we'll do update circle. Then you can use either the label or the ID. I always use the ID because it makes it simple. And you'll also have to include the set. So we'll be changing the V1 circle inside of the temporary set. We're going to start by expanding just the radius of it. And we'll set that to to 25 blocks. And we'll change the color of the stroke to white, and then the fill color we'll set to negative purple. We'll set the general opacity, we'll set the circle opacity to max. We'll make that fill opacity very light, and we'll set the weight of the circle to 2. When you return to Dynmap, you'll notice that that fill is changed. And then I'm going to go ahead and just to show you guys the effect of the radius X property, I am going to go ahead and change that by using the command shown on screen. And that is the change, that is how the marker would change at a radius X value of 10. We'll change the radius Z value to 30. Remember that our initial radius was 25. And you'll notice that that extends slightly wider. Let's create an area marker. First, we're gonna add all our corners in for number 5 and number 6. Now with all of our corners in, we can just use the dmarker add area command, followed by the ID of our area, a label for the area, and the set to add it into. You can also include the color properties, as well as a Y coordinate for the top and bottom of it. I almost never set these because they're typically not all that useful. When you go back to your Dynmap, you'll see that that area that you created is marked up. One of the sad parts is that you can't adjust the shape. So if you look here, I don't like how this kind of goes out and then back in. I would rather take this point and either move it outward, or I would like to just have it not have that point at all and go straight down to here. As of right now, there is no way to edit the points within an area marker or inside of a line marker. So now I want to go ahead and create a line that connects this village here to this village down here. We're going to start by adding in all of our corners. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Once we've added in all of our corners, we can go ahead and do dmarker add line. Obviously, we'll add a label, an ID, a label for it, the set we want to add it to, and it will also have the stroke specific properties of color, and then we also have weight. And when you return to Dynmap, you'll see this village road line available you'll see this line on your map. And this can be much more jagged, much longer. Note that the line will connect all of the points individually, so you can't have it just branch off. You will have to use a separate polyline or line. You'll have to use a separate line marker. And that's how you add all of the Dynmap markers, as well as a little bit on how to update them. I'm going to be releasing more detailed videos on each of the type of markers, as well as how to add icons in the future. So go ahead and leave a like and comment any questions you have so that I can make sure those are addressed in future videos. Without further ado, this is Negative Light signing out, and God bless y'all.